Hello, everyone. In today's video, we're going to cover the IXL assignment, integer subtraction rules. Now, if you recall, integers means we're using both the positive and the negative numbers. So we have the positive and the negative side of our number line. So let's go ahead and refresh our memory on those rules so we can be ready to do our IXL practice problems. All right, right here we have a nice comprehensive list of our 3 rules for addition and subtraction. The very first rule is if you notice that both of your signs are the same, so they're both positive or they're both negative, then add the numbers together and keep the sign. In this first example, we have a positive 8 plus a positive 12. Well, their signs are the same. They're both a positive number. So I simply need to add them. 8 plus 12 is 20, and then keep that sign. It stays a positive 20 because we continued on that positive on the right side of the number line. On the flip side, if we have a negative 5 plus a negative 6, do they have the same sign? Yeah, they're both negatives. We're still going to add them. 5 plus 6 is 11, and we keep that sign, so it stays negative. Therefore, our final answer is a negative 11, because we started at negative 5 on the left side of the number line, and we continued to go in the negative direction 6 spaces. All right. The second rule takes a little bit more concentration. If you notice that your signs are different, so you have one of each, a positive and a negative, you subtract the numbers and keep the sign of the larger number. So if you have opposite or different signs, subtract and take the sign of the larger number. We look at this first one here, negative 3 plus 10. Their signs are different. The 3 is negative, the 10 is positive. We're going to subtract. 10 minus 3 is 7. But then I need to check my sign. My answer is going to have the sign of the bigger, the larger number. Well, 10 is larger than 3, and 10 was positive. So my answer is a positive 7. All right, let's check this one out. Negative 7 plus 3. Are their signs different? Yeah, the 7 is negative, the 3 is positive. They have different signs. So we're going to subtract. What's 7 minus 3? 4. But then my answer needs the sign of the larger number. 7 is larger than 3, and 7 is negative. So our answer is a negative 4. All right, let's go to our final rule. And that is, what do we do if we notice that we are subtracting a negative? Well, when we subtract a negative, that's a double negative. So just like you can't use double negatives in English, they cancel each other out and become a positive. So here we have 12 minus negative 6. That double negative is going to become a positive. So your 2 negatives come together and become a plus sign, a positive. So we have 12 plus 6. Once you do that, you can just follow one of the top rules. If you notice their signs are the same, add them and keep the sign. If they have different signs, subtract and take the sign of the larger number. Well, in this case, they have the same sign. They're both positive. So we just got to add 12 plus 6 is 18. All right, let's check this out real time with some examples here and get our practice in. Once again, we are completing this assignment on IXL integer subtraction rules. So is negative 5 minus 75, is our answer going to be positive or negative? If we look down at the bottom, I have a copy of our rules. So the first thing you want to look for is, do we have a double negative? Are we subtracting a negative? No, because I do have 2 negatives, but notice that they're not back to back. So I don't have subtracting a negative. which means I need to either look and see if my signs are the same or if my signs are different. In this case, my signs are the same because we have a -5 and then a minus, or another way we can say that is a -75. They both have the same sign, so we can add them and keep the sign. Let's go ahead and just solve this out for funsies. So we're going to add them and we're going to keep the sign. Five plus 5 is 10, carry the 1, 7 plus 1 is 8, and we keep the sign, therefore our answer is negative. Okay, let's try another one. Better clear this. Is 44 minus a -13 positive or negative? First thing we want to look for is, do we have a double negative? Are we subtracting a negative? Yeah, we are. That matches this example right here. We have this minus a negative. That minus a negative cancels each other out and is going to become a positive. Now that we've done that, we need to look and see, does it follow the rules where they're the same or they're different? Well, both of our numbers are the same, which means we add them and keep the sign. 44 plus 13, 4 plus 3 is 7, 4 plus 1 is 5. We keep the sign the same. Our answer is a positive 57. All right. How about this one? -38 minus a -4. Remember, first thing we got to do is see if this third rule applies. Are we subtracting a negative? Yeah, we are. Look right here, subtracting a negative. We got that double negative back to back. So what does it become? A positive. Now that it's a positive, we need to look at our top two rules here. Are the signs the same or are they different? They're different. We have a -38, but then we have a +4. So if the signs are different, we subtract and take the sign of the larger number. So we're going to subtract. 8 minus 4 is 4. 3 minus 0 is 3. And we take the sign of the larger number. Well, 38 is larger than 4. And 38 was negative. Therefore, our answer is a -34. Right. I think we got another one to try here. Yep. 62 minus 29. Remember, first things first, are we subtracting a negative? Nope. So that means we can just look at our two rules here. Do they have the same sign or different signs? They have different signs. Our 62 is a positive, and our 29, we're subtracting it, which means it's a negative because the sign in front belongs to that number. It's a negative. Let's go ahead and subtract them then because our signs are different. 62 minus 29. Oh, we got to borrow here because we can't do 2 minus 9. We borrow from the 6, it becomes a 5, and our 2 is now a 12. What's 12 minus 9? 3. 5 minus 2? 3. But we're not done yet. We got to make sure our sign's correct because if we subtracted, we take the sign of the larger number. 62 is larger than 29, and 62 is positive, which means our answer is a positive 33. All righty, we have one more example to wrap this on up. Is -90 minus a -46 positive or negative? So what's the first thing you guys need to look for? Hopefully you said, are we subtracting a negative? That's always what you want to check first. And we are. We have minus a negative. So what does that become? That becomes a positive. Once you fix that, you go up to your top two rules for adding and use those to finish off the problem. So are your signs the same or different? They're different because we have a -90 and a positive 46. So if the signs are different, what do we need to do? Subtract. We're going to take 90 minus 46. Oh, gotta borrow again. Borrow from that 9, so it becomes an 8. 10 minus 6 is 4. 8 minus 4 is 4. But we're not done yet. Don't forget this last step. We need to check our sign. Because they were different, that means we keep the sign of the larger number. Which number is larger? -90. Sorry, which number is larger, 90 or 46? 90 is larger, and 90 was negative. So our answer is a -44. All right, hopefully this video and doing this practice will help get you into a set where you're comfortable with integers, because that is something that you'll be using here on out in math. So the quicker that you can master this and feel comfortable, the better. It will make life in math a lot easier in the future. But if you're still struggling, as always, we are here as teachers to help you. So send us an email, come to our help sessions, and we will be more than happy to work with you. Bye.